Hi, I'm Laura Wilson, owner and founder of iBrandBoost.com. In this video, I'm going to run through the dashboard and exactly how to set up an automated webinar in Evergreen Business System. In my view, Evergreen Business System by Filsaime is the best automated webinar software on the market today. It's reliable, it's reasonably priced, it's got a shed load of features, and you can set up a webinar to play on automation several times a day, several times a week to your audience in less than an hour. And I'm going to show you some of the dashboard features that allow you to do that. So what you have to do, you have to either record a live webinar, so you could use something like GoToWebianr, GoToMeeting to host the live webinar, and then you record that webinar and then you can put that into this system. Or alternatively, the way I like to do it is to just do a screen capture video, so record a video offline, not live to a live audience, then you get a chance to edit the webinar and then upload it to Evergreen Business System. So here we are, we're in the back end of the automated webinar generator. And the way it's set out is it's in kind of like a linear fashion module, and at every step of the way there's these tutorial videos. So it basically makes this super simple.
Hello there, and welcome to the members area for the automated webinar generator software.
Okay, so there you go, there's the welcome video, and like I say, at every stage there's tutorials, so if you get stuck, you're only a kind of click away from one of the sections around you, and you'll be able to find out exactly how to proceed forward with creating your automated webinar. So for example, the first section we come to is webinar meta tags. If you're into SEO, you know what that is. Basically, this is where you give your title, your keywords, your description. If you don't know what it is, then click here, there's a tutorial video. And then once you've entered, so basically the page title is going to be your webinar title, the keywords are going to be the keywords around your webinar, and description is likely to be the webinar description. So that's what I would advise. This isn't an SEO tutorial, but there we go, that's what you enter there. Once you've done that, then you just come over here and click Save Your Progress. You then move on to the next section. Schedule your webinar. So you enter your webinar name, you enter your platform language, the time zone, so you can either do it on your time zone or based on the registrant's time zone, which I would recommend. Then they're not faffing about trying to convert time zones. They immediately get it in their own time zone, which is even better than things like GoToWebianr, which don't do that. And then you can select how often to run your webinar. So every day, one specific date, one day every week, or selected days every week. So that's fantastic. For some of my automated webinars, depending on what function they fulfill, I like to run one several times a week and with 2 different time options per day. So you just enter the details here, and again, once you've finished, then you just come down and save your progress. So you've got loads of different options. You can select it to not play on certain holiday dates like Christmas Day, that type of thing. You can allow it so they can't watch the video or watch the webinar right now, or they can watch the webinar right now, as in immediately. You can block today and tomorrow. You've got all these different options. So once again, you just press save. And the way it's set out is all of these sections are kind of collapsed, and then you click each section to expand it out, which just makes it a bit neater. So here we go, you just click Show Fields, and then you can choose your theme. So this is the registration theme. The registration page is hosted with Evergreen Business System, so you don't need to worry about that. Or you can just grab a code and enter the opt-in box for your webinar on your own website. So it's very versatile. You've got all these different options with opt-in page themes for your webinar, registration page themes. Okay, so you just select your template, select the color, add all these details here, your presenter's name, you can add a header, you can add a headline, so just basically fill all that stuff in. Once again, there's tutorials at every step, and there's also PDF tutorial guides as well. You can have an exit splash page, so if someone clicks off the page and they don't register, you can send them to another page, maybe an opt-in page on your website. You can have a custom registration page. I'm not going to go through every single section of this because you can find out for yourself, and there is tutorials at every section. But there's so many features, and you can, like I say, you can set all this up within an hour. I've timed myself a number of times, and you can do it in under an hour. So yes, you can set your thank you page. You can have a countdown page. So this is the page where if people go to your webinar early, then it will show a countdown page. So we'll select yes. And then you basically enter a video saying the webinar hasn't started yet, and it will give the date and the time and like a countdown ticker to show when it starts. You can customize the actual webinar broadcast room, so it can look like a web browser look design, or a software application look, or a Windows application look. So you've got these different options for how the webinar itself looks when it plays. You can split test that broadcast room as well. You can split test your registration page. This is all done within Evergreen Business System, which is fantastic. Now here, this is where you enter your webinar's URL. So basically you just upload a video to either, I wouldn't advise hosting a webinar on YouTube, but your Amazon S3 account or Vimeo if you've got a Vimeo Pro account. So you upload your video to one of the video hosting services, and then you just enter the URL here. Enter the time of the video and fill in all these details. And you've got a list of options with regards to attendees, so you can have only simulated names, or use real names, or real and simulated names, so you can make it look as if there's other people on the webinar as well. I wouldn't advise necessarily doing that, but you can do that if you want. Max number of attendees, you can change that. And you can do, this is the beauty of this, although it's an automated webinar, you can run polls within the webinar. So as people are on it live, or as they're on it in their real time, you can do live polls. You can do delayed events, so you can show buttons at 35 minutes into the webinar, that type of thing. It's just got so many features which are really good. I would advise when you're first starting out, keep it simple. Don't overload yourself with all these things. But as you do more and more webinars, you might want to start using these things when you get used to doing it. Now, you can obviously also replay your webinar. So again, you just go in and you can set it to expire after a number of days, or to be evergreen, or an evergreen page. So you just got all these features. Email notifications. You can send emails directly from Evergreen Business System, or it will integrate with your own autoresponder service. So Aweber, that type of thing, GetResponse. So you can, when people register for the webinar, they'll also register to your list, and vice versa if you want. Or you can just set Evergreen Business System to send out all the emails. That's fine if you don't want to bother with that. You can do affiliate tracking. You can change footer links. You could have your main website in the footer of the actual webinar broadcast room, or the registration page. And then you can preview your webinar, and then you just publish your webinar. And that's it. It's really so simple. It's reliable. It's robust. A lot of huge people in the internet marketing industry use Evergreen Business System. I would advise using it. So let's talk about price. Currently, Evergreen Business System is $497, which is an absolute snip of a price, because if you look at comparative things such as GoToWebianr, which can be as much as $499 per month, this is amazing. It's a one-time fee only, plus there's a live feature now in Evergreen Business System. So you can not only do automated webinars, but also live webinars. So it's actually now a complete rival to things like Citrix GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting. So it's really just a no-brainer. For less than $500, you're getting this whole system, and you could be using this for years to come. And once you when you produce a webinar and it converts, as in you present an offer at the end of your webinar and make a sale, offer a product for sale. And typically, if you're doing your job right, then webinars will convert upwards of 10%. They should be your best converting offer out there, bar holding one-to-one seminars, or one-to-one telesales calls, or face-to-face selling, consultative selling, that type of thing. This should be your highest converting offer. So if you've got a webinar that plays 5 times a week and converts at 10 to 15%, how much more money are you going to make in your business, and it's totally automated, so the leverage is there. It's big leverage, so high returns for little effort. You just set this up once and you can be reaping the rewards for years to come. So $497, you could easily make that back in one webinar. One webinar, you can make a lot more than that in one webinar. So I've made lots of money on webinars. I know lots of my friends who've made lots of money on webinars. So go out and get Evergreen Business System. It's really good.